And speaking of a good series, we're gonna continue a good series of continuing Mario Paint paintings. This being Season 10, Episode 2, Cabin at Sunset. You see Cabin in the title, you already know it's gonna be a good one, right? Banger series. Mario & Luigi is a banger series. You know, I know Dream Team kind of gets like flack. I'm not really familiar too much with that game. I feel like my understanding is that it's a lot more you either kind of like it or you don't sort of deal for Dream Team. And then Paper Jam, I don't know a damn thing about that game. I feel like I've heard people say it's not a very good Mario & Luigi or a very good Paper Mario game. I think it was like in that era of like Nintendo being just giga sterile with like Paper Mario. I hope whenever like assuming a new Mario RPG, Paper Mario, Mario & Luigi, whatever the next Mario RPG-esque game will be, I hope it's like up to snuff with the games that people like. Because it's nice that the T2ID remake and the Mario RPG remakes came out and did really good, and I'm pretty sure the T2ID remake like turbo giga super fast outsold or like did better than Origami King did. So it's like, I don't know. There's the proof for you. There's the proof for you. I don't know what more you need than that. I'll always think it's definitely somewhat whack that Origami King bosses are just like stapler, colored pencils. Like, damn. I think that's whack. I think that's wild. Them remaking Superstar Saga on 3DS wasn't a bad play. IMO Switch just came out and they used a lot of assets, so it was probably cheap. And the install base for 3DS was already established. That's true. That's true. But Bowser's Inside Story being on the 3DS again though is definitely like a huge L. Like you can give them a pass for Superstar Saga. It's like, all right, like I can get like why this happened. Especially since at that point, it's like, okay, all of their games like were on handhelds. So I guess it's just like, well, following tradition, whatever. Gotta keep it on the handhelds, but like, come on. The Koopalings. That's valid. Yeah, but it's seeming like we're kind of past that point of Nintendo being turbo just sterilized with Paper Mario. And I don't understand why they were so adamant on being like, okay, this whole game, every NPC is just gonna be a default Toad. Ooh, that one's blue though. That one's pretty cool. Like, I think we're beyond that now, hopefully. Bowser's Inside Story remake was the worst thing they could have done. You could already play the original one on your 3DS. That's a good point. That's a good point. Because yeah, the 3DS is backwards compatible with DS games. And didn't it, like the 3DS had like the GBA like virtual console, but it was only, weren't those only available for like the people who like bought the 3DS like on launch or something? So it was like FOMO VC for GBA. stuff on the 3DS? Or did they like officially release some games? Or was it only some games? Like there were some games that were exclusive to that like ambassador program, however they called it, for that early 3DS thing. Yo, Owl, good morning. How are you? Yeah, I agree. That I assume they probably thought like, oh, this could save us. Because yeah, they're definitely struggling, especially since the Inside Story remake put them under. Unfortunately. You blame Tanabe? Is that just the director of like post Super Paper Mario games? I do think it's cool for like the 3DS how like they gave like those. They never did GB games outside of that. They weren't even emulated. They got them running natively, so it didn't have quality of life stuff. That's pretty crazy that they just got it natively running. But it's like, damn, the fact that they like made those, that like they made that a thing for the 3DS, but like, you know, it being exclusive, like, I don't know. Like, if they were just giving out free to those people and then they made it, like, available to be purchased later on, like, damn. I'm sure people would have liked that. I'm sure a lot of people would have enjoyed that. He's an executive that's overseen a lot of games and Johnny wasn't liked. Awesome. Love that. I love that. But at least he's gone. God, I cannot imagine being like some creative director, just someone involved in like those kinds of projects and creating something that people just don't like at all. Like if you're the guy who made the Virtual Boy, for example, like damn, like do you feel like just like an asshole? Like the Virtual Boy gotta be one of Nintendo's like biggest flops like in their existence. I guess the N64 disc drive also didn't do very good, but I think they both have the same issue. They didn't release any like good games for them. Let's get groceries in a bit. How many bananas are you getting? Okay, well, for Virtual Boy, they just missed the point. Like, they just didn't understand the point of virtual reality. Like, most of the games insert the whole AVGN episode on the Virtual Boy. But it's like, every Virtual Boy game, aside from like 2, are basically just like a game that's like, ooh, look, like it's in 3D, but it's like referencing the AVGN video. It wasn't the 3D boy, it was called the Virtual Boy. So it's like, I feel like they just didn't understand, or like they didn't like grasp the concept very well of making it virtual. That's true. Yeah, it was released because the N64 was delayed, and I guess they wanted to stay competitive, or they wanted to have something out there. Yeah, and the fact that it was all in red and black is crazy. That is some crazy work. You have bananas already? You're out of oranges? Damn. We need bananas. Can I snag some? Someone got any bananas for your boy? I bet that's why the Virtual Boy is red for Mario. Probably. That's actually a good point. Like, I don't know why else they would have made it red and black. But like, it's crazy. Like, I think it's like the first game for the Virtual Boy, or at least the first game that like people would have played probably. It was like Mario's Tennis, whatever they called it for the Virtual Boy. And like, it starts off in like a VR view of like the tennis ball. Like, it like just comes right up close to the screen and it's like, whoa. but then like you play the game and it's like you're just playing a normal tennis game. Like you're not like in the first person perspective of like being the character on the court. You're just like in third person, like a normal ass game. So it's like stuff like that is like, okay, this like they didn't like they didn't understand the assignment of making it virtual. They just like missed the point, I feel like, and that was like their downfall. I mean, but hell, like even if like it had like good games, maybe it still wouldn't have done amazing, because there's stuff like the GameCube that like people nowadays, everyone's just like, yeah, the GameCube's got banger exclusives, but like back then it didn't sell very good, like relatively speaking, which is crazy because everyone's like, yo, T2ID, yo, Metroid Prime, yo, Melee, yo, Double Dash. They're still green, so they'll probably yellow when they get there. Perfect. I don't mind a little bit of green on my bananas. Like if it's just like a full yellow, like that's probably like ideal banana for me. Just a touch of yellow, or like a touch of green is fine. I don't mind it. I guess obviously like when it's like still like half green, half yellow, it's like at that point it's like, that can be kind of rough to try and eat. That can be a little unlucky to try and eat that. Also, Tanabe left after Prime 4 wrapped up development. Feels good. Do you think Miyamoto like kicked him to the curb? Stomped on him? No brown spots on bananas. I don't mind a little bit of brown. Skittle likes their bananas actually like a little bit brown. Yeah, I definitely... I don't know. Like, I have a range. I have a range that I'm like pretty chill with overall. Oh shit. Yeah, you better turn that on, Justin. Dude, I sent that email to you that I got like last week, Justin, but like I got this random email for context for those who don't know. I got this random ass email from Twitch sent to my alt, like sent to Margarine. And it was, I forget like what it specifically said, but it was just like this like fake like chat message, like string of messages that was like in like a mock-up chat box in the email, and it was like just saying like, whoa, Margarine would have liked that, whoa, and like the email was like just being like, oh, like you haven't streamed, like it was targeted as if I hadn't streamed in a while on Margarine, when at that point I had streamed like very recently, like within like the last couple of days. I'm like, why am I getting this email? Like, why are they sending this to me? It's beyond me what that was all about. But aside from that, other exciting news is that I can use Illustrator, or I can still use Illustrator. I haven't completely forgotten how to do everything in that program. I was tasked with making something on this past week, which is why I didn't stream since Monday. I could have streamed, but I just kind of didn't. So I was kind of working on it slowly but surely. Like, I hadn't used Illustrator since like 2021 or something. It's been a long time since I've touched it. and I'm glad that I could still do things in it. And for those who don't know, Adobe Illustrator is a vectoring software. And what is vectoring? Vectoring is programs that use like math. I'm pretty sure is how vector software works, to basically be like, oh, you can resize the thing you make infinitely. So basically use it for logos. That's usually like the purpose you would use it for, is making a logo, because it's like, oh, the logo might need to be really small. Oh, the logo might need to be blown up to go on this billboard or whatever. So if you make it like in vector, you can have it be any size and it won't like get all pixelated and such, because vector art is resolution independent, whereas raster art, which is what Photoshop is, that's resolution dependent. So it's like, oh, if you like grab an image off of like Google and like scale it up a shit ton in Photoshop or whatever, like it'll get like blurry and pixelated eventually. But with vector art, it won't do that. That's your TLDR of what vector art is, if anybody wasn't aware. And yeah, I had like never used Illustrator on my PC. I've had a legal version that I paid monthly for, of course, of Illustrator. Because, you know, that's the right thing to do for Adobe. And I just never touched it. So my experience with Illustrator was always on my Mac back in the day. It was for a commission. Even though I still haven't like publicly opened doing commission work yet, it was like, I don't know, somebody reached out to me. And I was like, yeah, I should be able to do it. I should be able to do that. And then I was able to do that, thankfully. But okay, so here's the tea. So when I was working on it, because I was like, okay, it's a logo. Like it's gonna be like used on like a banner thing. That's cool. Like, oh, I can just use Clip Studio for this, because Clip Studio has vector layers in the program. Cool, problem solved. I can just use Clip Studio like I'm used to these days. And then I was like looking into it. Like I was like looking into like how the vector layers work on Clip Studio, because I've never like used them really. Like I've never used the vector layers, and it turns out people were saying, oh, the vector layers in Clip Studio don't actually function as proper vector like in Illustrator. Like people were saying, yeah, if you make a vector layer and scale it up, it'll still get blurry. And I'm like, then what the fuck is the point of the vector layers in Clip Studio? So then I was like, I guess I have to like try and like remember how to use Illustrator, and it honestly didn't take very long. It really didn't take very long at all to like remember how to do things in it. I still got it, so that felt good. I was still able to do things in Illustrator. It felt nice. I think the point, like I think the main advantage of using the vector layers in Clip Studio Paint would be, like let's say like you use like a vector layer for your line art for a piece. When you make it a vector layer, you like there's like points on it. Like if I draw a line and it's a vector layer in Clip Studio, this is my line on a vector layer, there would be these points on it, like this for example. There'd be these points on it, and I could like grab the point and like drag it, and it would make the line like curve like this. So I guess it's like, oh, you could do fine like little adjustments without actually having to manually by hand like redraw the line, if that makes any sense. So I guess that's the main advantage, or like the use case of using the vector layer in Clip Studio. Which, I mean, if it works, it works. I guess if that's what you like. I feel like I'd just be too much of a stickler. I just want to like, I would rather just like be able to draw the line well myself. I don't know, it forever sticks with me. One of my teachers in college, shouts to that guy being cool. I remember him telling us about this student where she was like pretty good, like she was pretty good at digital art. I don't know what her art looked like, but he was just like, yeah, she was pretty good. And then he had them draw on paper, and like she was like not as good at all. And it's because I guess like when she draws in digital, she like Giga has her like stabilization like cranked up to the max. So like the whole point of that, he was telling us like, yeah, so that's why like I recommend like not using stabilization or using very little. And I'm like, that makes sense. I think it could be good to like use it to like kind of like get yourself like going, to get used to it, to get used to if you're like new to drawing digitally. Like, I could see people like having that use case. But ever since he told us that, I have had my stabilization set to 0, like for all my brushes, because I'm like, well, I want to be good. I want to be good. So, yeah. Which I think like it would definitely like I think it would help in the long run. Like I get the point. I can see how it's just better in the long run. Liquify. I've definitely heard many people using Liquify. I never really messed with that tool personally. Yeah, I was never much of a Liquify tool user. I think especially like in Clip Studio, they didn't have a Liquify tool when I started using it, but now they do actually. I don't know when they added it. I think maybe version 2 added Liquify. Oh my god, Arma. Wait. Hey. Yeah, I've definitely seen like people online, yeah, many times just post like, yeah, I just use the Liquify tool for that case. But yeah, it felt good. I was glad I was able to still do stuff in Illustrator. And that gets me to a point of like, I've like had an idea. I've never like drawn it out or anything, but I've had an idea in my head for like, well, I have the name already in my head for like if I were to make a new website / like art brand for myself. And I'm like, okay, maybe at some point in time I can like actually make a logo for that. That'd be pretty cool to do that. Must depart for groceries. All right, enjoy the persimmons and yuzu that you're gonna grab. Oy. Feels good. What a good normal sound that humans make. Is the logo gonna have blue in it? I don't know. I'm not sure if it would have blue. I guess like I never really thought specifically about like how it would look specifically. Like I haven't like sat down and actually thought about it too much. I've just like had the name in my head. I'm like, yeah, that could be the name for it whenever I make that one day. But now that I have confidence that I can use Illustrator again, and I haven't just completely forgotten everything about how to use that program, I'm like, okay, we can do this. We can do this. Whenever I get around to doing that / feel like doing it. I remember one of my projects in college. We had to make a logo, just like a fake. I think it was just like a fake like art company, or like in theory like something you could use for yourself if you wanted to. And I remember that logo being pretty nice actually. I never like used it for anything, but I thought it looked pretty cool. I remember the first time I showed whichever teacher it was. I honestly don't remember that guy very much. He was definitely one of those guys that wasn't like a main character for me, but he was there sometimes. And I remember vividly the first time I showed it to him, like it was just in black, and I think he commented on that, and I was like, oh, well, like our main like vector guy, the main teacher who taught us Illustrator stuff. I was like, well, he told us like a logo should look good in like black and white, like it should look good in any color, so I didn't like associate color with it yet, just like as a starting point. I was like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I had that shit turned on. Let me tell you what, I got that shit turned on. But yeah, I just remember him telling us that, like, yeah, like if you're making a logo, it should look good in like black and white. So when I was just showing him like the initial like start for me like working on it, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna I didn't bother doing color yet. I forget how it like specifically looked, but I remember the logo was like, I think it was like 2 like scales, like on like a reptile. It was like 2 scales and then 3 on the bottom. So it was like boom, boom, boom. And then I think like it was really just like those, and then like the middle bottom one had like, it was cut out to look like a G pen nib. Like that nib, or like when you look up like lock, yeah, lock with ink pen, that emoji, it's that kind of like pen head or ink pen head, whatever. I remember that was like the logo, I'm pretty sure. I forget if I changed it beyond that. I definitely have not seen that in many years, but I remember that being something I was like, yeah, this is pretty simple, but I think it's pretty neat. Because it was like, you know, it was supposed to be for like an arts or some kind of like creative brand that we made up. So it's like, okay, I guess like my plan was to make it like subtle, be like, yeah, it has like the art thing in there, but it's not just like, hey, look at the pen, look, he's got the pen thing. I didn't, which I guess not necessarily a bad thing also, he make it like that, but I thought it was pretty neat. That was like kind of subtle. Subtlety can be kind of nice sometimes, depending on, obviously context is important, but depending. Rules can be broken and changed based on so many things. I guess I could just tell you this now, Arma, because I was gonna send it and then I forgot, and I also was like, I don't know if I'm gonna send this or not. Or, well, that rather it's like the last day for it. But like how you've probably seen that in the Rivals store, they have like bundles on sale, which I guess they're on sale until I guess the update tomorrow. But there's like a cheat code for the people who are Kickstarter backers, aka us pointers, where they have this one bundle that, at least in milk in a bag dollars, it's like normally like $50 or so, and it's just like the Game Boy palettes for like the launch characters. But since we are Kickstarter backers, like we have those, and so the TLDR is you can get like $100 of damn bucks for like $50, but since it's on sale, it's like 25 Canadian dollars for that bundle to get $100 worth of Dan dollars. And I was like, do I want to buy that? Since like I guess it just works for any of the bundles where it's like, oh, if you have like something from this bundle, you just get refunded like the bucks for it. And so it's like, oh, you buy that bundle, and it's like, oh, you have like everything in the bundle basically. And so it gives you like 10,000 bucks or something. I'm like, damn, that's kind of broken tech. Yeah, I think it's just called like the retro launch bundle or something, question mark, I think is the name of it. You also get those like little like 2-frame animated like icons for the characters where they actually look like they're from a Game Boy game. So that's the one. But I imagine for like USD, it's probably like $20 or something with the sale. I don't know. I keep going back and forth if I should bother with that or not. I'm like, do I want that? I don't know. I don't know. I think about how that's a thing, and then like meanwhile, if that happened in like Fortnite or something, like they would Giga like patch that out. I mean, hell, I'm pretty sure that happened like a few years ago where there was some like thing people could do where it's like, oh, you can get a bunch of free V-Bucks from like buying this one bundle or something, and then they they revoked that from like a ton of people who like did it. I don't remember like what it was, or like I'm pretty sure it was just like you bought some bundle, or like you could like get a bundle with V-Bucks in the store, but then it's like, oh, you have like the things because you could get like most of the things for free from some previous event or whatever. So it's like, yep, well, you just get refunded the V-Bucks or whatever. Yeah, it's true. They're not making enough money. That's actually a good point. Honestly, for that game, I hope the current CEO just gets fucking fired or goes to see the Titanic. Whichever happens first, I'd be down for. I think that would just benefit the company in the long run. It'd benefit the people, that's for damn sure. Because damn if that guy doesn't just suck. Drowns. Also, what's this badge that you have? Ah. Fufa. Ziv. Fufa. Ignore the part where it actually has the words spelt out. Shouts to that. Damn. I feel when Kendall could rep that badge too. She'd be like, oh my god. Shoutouts to that though. New badge on the street. New badge on the street, baby. Okay, let's Oh, Mario Brush, my beloved. You know, I remember Skittle pointed out because the Mario Brush I think is like technically like supposed to be used for like these shapes and such. So it's like, ooh, I can like post like I can like put down like patterns because it doesn't work. Oh, it does work. Oh, just shows like green on the tip, so I assumed it didn't work. Okay, so never mind. But well, I guess it pastes like the full like frame in one click. But I remember Skittle mentioned at one point, it's like, I wonder if you could ever use like these stamps to like create like a texture. And I'm like, maybe. Like I could see like this. Like I could see that potentially being a thing, maybe. Like, that could be a thing, possibly. I mean, hell, I could try it right now. We could try it right now. Fuck it. Whoa, that's crazy. Whoa. That was kind of bold of me just to drag that over the thing. Damn, this is a clone stamp before clone stamping was a thing. Shoutouts to the clone stamp tool. That's a goated tool. You can do it. Thank you. Yeah, shoutouts to me for my Squidward when you have a blank meme that I contributed to. Shoutouts to me getting some good clone stamp usage out of that. I hadn't clone stamped in a while before that. Because I had to like extend the background further to make room for the extra Squidwards. I still have another idea for one of those like Squidward memes I never made, and I think it'd be I still want to make it even though the trend kind of like passed already, but I'm like, this is such a banger idea. I need to make it. I just haven't felt like making it. But it'd be so good if I made it. It'd be good for like the people. Me being the people. Like that is like one thing I feel like I miss about when Twitter was good is like I feel like there was like so like pretty often that there would be just like meme trends where like, you know, X thing would happen and then everyone just makes edits of it. Like I feel like one of the last meme trends I did on Twitter before it started to go to shit was this one guy posting like a picture of like just this random like just like nook in like a wall like in their house, and they were like, what should I put here? And then I put like a it was like a chest and with like the HUD and everything. I feel like that was like that was like the last one I remember doing on Twitter before it all went to shit. And like I remember like because there was like that one, and then there was like another one from like I don't know if it's the same person, it was probably a different person altogether, but like I remember like it was like just like another instance of like just random ass like nook in like the wall or something, and they're like, what should I put here? And like there was somebody for that one and the one that I did the meme for where they they remade the room in like 3D or something and had like Mario like grab a star. And I'm like, bro, like is there some like trick you can do to make this really easy, or are you like modeling like the fucking like house real quick? Because the camera like was panning and shit, and I'm like, bro, This is insane. But I love it at the same time. You know the person? Oh my god. So basically you're famous by proxy. It's like the TLDR, what you said. You know, oh, no longer famous. Never mind. Well, maybe. Man, which, speaking of famous, in a stream last night, people like were mentioning like the OG Old Spice ads where it had like whoever that original guy's name was on there, where it was like, look at your man, now back to me, now back at your man, now back to me. That guy. Like, I like watched some of those commercials and I saw the Old Spice like account like like they were still on the Old Spice like YouTube channel and it said like shit like uploaded 16 years ago. I'm like, bruh. I'm like, take me back. Take me the fuck back, please. Take me back to like good internet era. That shit went kind of hard back then. Yeah, like seeing that it was uploaded like 2010, I'm like, bro, how is it that old? Like, what the fuck, man? Like, insane. But then also, with, for those who saw me post on Blue Sky, the oops, it's been 10 years since my first Smash major I ever went to. I was like, damn, 2016 was a good ass year. 2016 was a kind of lit year for me. First Smash major, first GDQ. That was kind of a stacked year for me. And I'm also like, bring me back. Bring me back. That's true, 2010 was only 8 years ago. Not too long ago, honestly. I still love from that my first Smash major. I didn't post the picture in the 4 pictures I posted, but I love that they had like Call of Duty there as like one of the games that like was a competitive game that was played there, I guess. And when Melee was happening, like, you know, Melee was on like the big stage, everyone was watching it, but then like to like the right, there was just like this TV that had COD on it, and there were 2 people watching it. And then when I looked over, they were just both watching Melee. They weren't even watching COD. But also, I didn't see COD like actually happening. It was just like a splash screen that was just like Call of Duty, blah blah blah, whatever game it was. So it wasn't like actually running, I guess, I think. But I was like, damn, that's funny. Like looking over and the only 2 people sitting aren't even like, they're just watching Melee instead. Like that will forever live rent free in my head. I also remember at that tournament, Hunter in Smash 4, like, he was supposed to play Mewtwo King, but like for whatever reason, like, I don't know, like like the TOs were late or something. I don't know, like shit was just delayed. So they just started playing. Like they were just playing friendlies for like a little bit. So shoutouts to that happening. Yeah, I mean, I guess valid is like, well, let's just play. I guess if the set is just like delayed, I guess we just play some games while we're waiting. I don't know, going to those Canadian Smash Majors, it was pretty fun. You know, I definitely never really did well at them. Except at GOML 2019? 2018? 2019? Whichever one it was. I remember, I think the last set to make it out of my pool, I fucking had to play Hunter. I was like, what the fuck, man? And then I didn't win. I think it was close game 3. The close game 3 set. And I was like, alright, well now you have to win. And then he didn't fucking win, so what a bitch. Hate that guy. You're gonna beat me and then not even have the courtesy to at least win? Like, come on, dude. What are you doing, man? Yeah, I don't know if he went by that tag then. It used to be Krim, I remember, a long time ago. But at some point it changed to that. I don't know when that switched over though. At least Vince is allegedly running Brawl at GOML again this year, which I am not going to, so fuck. Yeah. Yeah, like last year and potentially the year before, Vince was just running Brawl. I don't think it was like official question mark. Like it wasn't like streamed. I don't know like how it specifically all like happened. I wasn't there, / wasn't the one doing it. Also implied by the fact that I wasn't there. But yeah. I don't know, it just happened. And I'm pretty sure they actually had like a decent amount of people like actually like show up to like enter the bracket. I'm pretty sure I remember he told me that he was playing somebody in Melee, I think, but he had to like, he was supposed to like go back and like TO the Brawl stuff. So he was like, I think he like washed the person. I think he fucked them up and then he gave them the win because he was like, yeah, I gotta go TO Brawl. So he fucked them up and let them have the win anyways. Which I'm like, okay, you know, valid priorities. I respect it. Have your priorities in check. You start going to Melee tourneys and have a panel to pawn bracket. That would go kind of hard. There'd probably be interest for that, I bet. I mean, hell, I remember at Gommel 2019 or whichever one it was we were at. When we showed up, there was like a few setups for Puzzle League, and I don't know who they were, but there was some girl that like was like I was like there playing with some people, and some girl was like, "Oh hey, do you want to play?" And I forget if it was after or before, but I remember like Vince was like, "Oh, if somebody comes up to you and asks to play, they're gonna be really fucking good." And that person, she was really good actually. She was really good. That was fun. Cause I remember we got there on like Friday at like, I don't know, like 5 p.m. or something. Like it wasn't too late. But I remember, I don't think I entered doubles, but I remember like some of my friends entered doubles for whichever Smash game. And I don't think there was any like communication that doubles started like early. Like, I think it started like noon or like some early time on Friday. And so like, I remember like a bunch of my friends got DQ'd out of doubles because they just like missed it because none of us were there that early. And then I remember that person playing with me, she was like, yeah, we also got like we were also late for doubles, so it's like, all right, that's epic. That blows, but like, damn, what the fuck? Yeah, no, definitely, especially for a Puzzle League / attack / whatever. Like, yeah, if someone's coming up to you, be like, yo, can I play? Like, yeah, they're gonna be fucking sick with it. Dropping Julian combos on you, and it's like, oh lord, help me, save me. Speaking of save me, I'm kind of cooking with this one right now. It's kind of tragic though, like there isn't any there like isn't like any local like in town local like Smash stuff that happens anymore. It's been like a long while. There is like stuff in like Vince's area, but it's like, oops, 40-minute drive. You know, when we went there like a few months back to go to that weekly in Vince's area, the first person I played against in Melee, like in a long ass time, if I had played Melee at all in the last like year, I would have fucked that guy up. But my movement was so shit. My movement was so bad. I was like, God, I know I'm better than that person. I'm so much better than that person if I like play the game. You've been defeated by scalpers? What the fuck? Let's go fight them. What would they scalp you on? I'm with the snowman. Hey. Hello, a new PC desk setup featuring Godzilla. Steam controllers? Oh yeah, I did hear that they're coming out today, or already are released, I guess. Damn, is it actually that bad? Like do they sell out like frame 2? My condolences. $30 minutes of the page failing to out of stock, then they came back in stock, another 10 minutes of failing. to check out to out of stock again. That's messed up. That's like when y'all like were scrambling to get like a Switch 2 when those launched. Like I remember like y'all were all like, oh, GameStop isn't loading. Ooh, Target's loading, go to Target. Like it was just like a fucking mess. Of people trying to get a Switch 2. I hate that the Switch 2 came out like, has it been 2 years? Has it been that long already? I hate that. Almost 1 year? Oh, I thought it was almost 2 years. Okay, I hate that less then. Valve was essentially DDoS from processing payments, and the bots took all inventory. That's fucked up. Scalpers are actually like probably top 10 worst types of human beings, because they're just shit. Like they only do it for their like benefit. It's so lame. Oh, what was it? It was something like maybe PS5, maybe, where like that shit was being scalped for like a while, and then like they got like a ton of like PS5s back in stock at like market price, and then it was like, oops. Like I just saw like a bunch of memes of like scalpers just like getting fucked. It's like, yeah, this guy like trying to sell off his like these scalped PS5s or whatever, and it's like, oops, no one's buying them because you can just buy them from like any store for not marked up to hell. So get fucked, asshole. Yeah, I mean, like that's like the only reason you would scalp, like if some item is like really sought after, but like it's just shitty. But I'm pretty sure when like the Switch 2 was like coming out, Nintendo like outright said like, we're gonna produce so many that there can't be like a market issue for these. Like there's just like that, it just isn't gonna be a problem. I don't know how much they like actually made that be a thing. But it's like, okay, that's kind of a chat approach though. Like we're just gonna make so many that this like can't be an issue. I know I've been seeing like things for the Steam machine, because I guess it was supposed to be out already, but because of fucking AI bullshit, which is, you know, at least it's on the downwards curve, thank fuck. But yeah, apparently because of all that nonsense, like it's been made parts like just take longer to get, so it's been like giga delayed. It's like, I'm glad this technology is proceeding to do nothing good for the world. There's a bunch of people that could still get a Switch 2 within the first week of launch without a pre-order. Damn. Which is... feels good. It feels good. Actually being able to just buy things without being like, oops, it's out of stock for the next 10 months. Sorry. Like, alright. Wait, Skittle was kind of cooking this texture strat. It was actually kind of working. You'll see that. CPU shortage is next. Somebody want to buy me a, what's my chip? I think it's an AM4. What's the one? Can I get a Ryzen 5800X3D? Is that the one? That's AM4. My humble 5600X. Doing pretty good. It's doing pretty good. Yeah, I feel like a a new CPU. That's like the main thing that this computer like would really only need for like anytime soon. But I also don't like particularly need a new CPU. But it'd be nice. It'd be fun. Oh, hey, Prac. Hey. You moved your 5600X to your home server PC. Love that little guy. Ooh. Home server PC. So what do you specifically do with that? As a not knower of what you would do with that in particular? Damn, yeah, Prek did start laughing at the end of that. It's so true. You want to go on a walk, but you're waiting for your coworker? Walking is so nice. I should go for a walk today. Alright, Skittle, we're going for a walk today. Damn, y'all see the little bit of blue in these big trees? Like at the bottom, like this section of those big trees in the foreground. Like I got a little bit of blue going on in them. I want to go for a walk, but I also want to do a glitchless run after this. Well, first I'm gonna go up and have some naan and hummus. Anybody want some? Because I'm getting kind of hungry. And I didn't have any hummus yesterday, so I was like, am I doing okay? I didn't have hummus. Run a NAS iCloud server, Minecraft server, syncs stuff like Google Drive between your devices, hosts a streaming service. Damn. This guy is just doing it all. Damn, I outright have well, I guess what is it? OneDrive that like is like just kind of like installed like on by default in computers. I just have that like outright disabled on my PC. But like I remember like a ton of people being like, no, I want this on my computer, not on the damn like OneDrive shit. Like I'm storing it on my PC. Put it on my PC, not fucking a cloud. Unless if I choose to put it there, that's cool, I guess. But it's like, damn, I remember that shit being dumb, and then I figured out how to like turn it off, and I was like, all right, this is a lot nicer now. Because you'd have like the OneDrive folders like first, and then it'd be like, oh yeah, here's your regular like storage folders. Like, bro, no, I don't want these. Can access it on all of your devices no matter the OS? Could you access it on your phone? Or do you have to be like, plugged into it with like, a cable? Okay, new tone. Wee woo, new tone getting used. Nobody panic. I'm getting crazy. I'm getting crazy with a new tone. A phone can use it. That's kind of broken, actually. And it's an iPhone? Dang. Yeah, I don't gotta be like, oops, you have to like, you gotta have a Android and install as APK. to access it. It's just, yep. Damn, that's gonna be way more Chad than like relying on like, you know, Google Drive and blah, 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 blah. Obviously, like Google Drive is like convenient and cool for most people. I mean, I have it. But like definitely having your own like setup like that, like that's pretty snazzy. Power consumption's like $5 per month too. Damn. And like, is yours on like 24/7? Or do you like turn it off like when you're not using it? Like, if you know it's like, oh, I'm gonna be gone, or like just not gonna need it for like X period of time, so I'm just gonna turn it off. It's on 24/7, damn. And that only being $5 a month, like, pretty nice. Pretty nice. Damn, I wonder, because I've been saying like at some point in time, it'd be nice to have it set up where instead of relying on like the radio in our kitchen, because the kitchen radio, pretty cool for what it is, I appreciate it, but it would be so nice to just have like some kind of like speaker setup in the kitchen like one day where it's like, oh, just some kind of like device that just we could just like download music onto, or like maybe like you plug your phone in and just like transfer songs to it and then have it play from that. Because damn, if the kitchen radio, they will just play the same songs constantly. So it'd be cool if you like curate your own like playlist and just have it like have it something you could play in the kitchen, and basically make it so it's not like, oh, I have to have my phone connect with Bluetooth constantly to play music, or like plug my phone into it to play music. Like just let it download the songs to the thing. Like that would be a nice setup. The kitchen radio never left your brain. It's nice that it's just like on. Like I appreciated that it's just like you go upstairs in the kitchen and it's not just like silence. So like that I appreciate a lot. Right, Prac? What? Says Prac probably. There's this new MP3 player that's a clone of the old iPod video on Amazon now. And you know ways to download music in the modern day like LimeWire? Ooh. I never got to actually use LimeWire, but I remember my brother using it like growing up. Bring it back. Bring me back to it. It's back? Okay, update. We've been brought back. Yeah, especially because it's like, you know, I know a lot of people use Spotify, but like, damn, like, I know Spotify kind of sucks. I mean, hell, I haven't paid for Spotify in a long time. I haven't even had Spotify in a long time. It's been a very long time since I've used them. The last time I like actually paid for Spotify was in college because you could get like a student discount and get it pretty cheap. But I'm like, damn, I like could not like imagine paying for Spotify in the modern day because I just know they suck. But they just have a service that's so convenient, so most people probably don't know / don't care. Because it's just like the norm to use it these days. And it's like your average person doesn't know that like Spotify, like Giga doesn't pay their artists very well. Like I would say that's probably not like your average person probably doesn't know that. You cancel your Spotify for Apple Music. What makes Apple Music better? Also, damn, do they not call it iTunes anymore? Rip that. You know, I saw it recently. Y'all remember those old, like, iTunes / like iPod Touch ads where it was like the silhouette of the person like jamming, and then it was just the headphones were like white. Like, that shit was iconic back then. I'm like, damn, that was back before Apple, like, at least publicly sucked. And it was like, let's remove the headphone jack. Every other company, ooh, let's do that too. Let's remove the headphone jack. Apple did it, let's do it too. Okay. Awesome. I hate it here. Like, I don't know if Apple back then was like low-key, like shady or not, but like at least like it felt like they were at least innovating still and not being like, yep, we're removing these features. And it's like, you can't even like cope and be like bullshit to be like, oh, well, the phones are too thin. They can't have a headphone jack. Like, that's a load of shit. That is such a giant load of shit. Like, it's just outright to make people buy AirPods or to buy their accessory to bring back the headphone jack. The thing that they made the problem, and then, okay, here's the solution that we're gonna sell to you for this problem that we created. Like, that's the shitty thing. Apple Music is like Spotify, but no Joe Rogan ads all over the place. iTunes is a storefront, Apple Music is a streaming service. I guess we are in the age of everything being a streaming service. Unfortunately, or fortunately. I'm buying that MP3 player now instead of the Steam controller. Alright, Ebo, you have to buy an MP3 player too. You and Miles have to stick together in these dark times of getting scammed. You wouldn't want to leave a homie hanging. Speaking of leaving a homie hanging, are we done with this piece? I think we might be done. I don't know. I think we're kind of good. I don't know. Yeah, I'm calling it done. An hour 13. I think it's pretty good vibes. Oh wait, do I do it? Yeah, okay, hold on. I noticed I didn't put the white. It's just the gray. I didn't put like any white like here. Okay, hold on. Extra, like, give me like an extra 20 seconds just to put the white splotch here. Cause it's, yeah. Okay. I mean, Bob, he'd be talking while he's like finishing up the painting. Like, he'd be making the signature and he'd be like, oh, looks like we're out of time here, but thanks for tuning in. God bless. See you next week. Like, he'll be saying that as he's writing the signature sometimes. Okay. That's all I wanted. Now we finish. Extra 20 seconds. But unfortunately, I can see my producer wants me to wrap up this painting, so we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.